In September 2023, somebody picked up a phone, talked for about 10 minutes, and one of the biggest casino companies in America started shutting itself down. Slot machines went dark. Digital room keys stopped working. Hotel guests waited while employees checked people in with pen and paper. MGM later told investors the incident would cost around $100 million. And according to public reporting, the opening move was not a zero day. It was not some brilliant piece of malware. The opening move was a help desk conversation. Someone called IT, pretended to be an employee, and got access reset. That is the scary part. MGM had security. Caesars had security. These were not small companies with no budget. The weak spot was normal, helpful, familiar. And your business probably has the same one. The MGM hack. One phone call took down a casino giant. Let's walk through what happened based on public reporting, and then I want to turn this back on you, because this is not really a Vegas story. This is a story about attackers moving from hacking computers to hacking conversations. The group tied to the MGM attack in public reporting is commonly known as Scattered Spider. Depending on the source, you may also see names like UNC 3944, Octo Tempest, or Muddled Libra. What made them dangerous was not just technical skill, it was social skill. They knew how help desks worked, and they knew how to sound urgent, tired, annoyed, and believable. According to later reporting, the attackers found an MGM employee online. Think LinkedIn, name, job, title, coworker's location, maybe the shape of that person's role. Then they called the IT help desk as that employee. The story is basically, hey, I'm locked out. I got a new phone. My MFA is not working. I need a reset. If you have worked in IT, you know this call. People get locked out constantly. Phones break, authentication apps get deleted, someone is traveling, someone has a meeting in 9 minutes. And the help desk exists to help. This is the trap. If the caller can convince the help desk to reset a password, reset MFA, or enroll a new device, the attacker does not need to break through the front door. The front desk hands them a key. In MGM's case, public reports describe attackers getting into identity systems like Okta. If you are not technical, think of Okta as the keyring for a modern company. It can connect employees to email, internal apps, cloud systems, admin consoles, and the tools that connect everything else. So when people hear casino hack, they might imagine someone plugging a laptop into a slot machine like a movie. That is not the real story. The real story starts with identity. If you can become the employee, even briefly, you can start asking the company to trust you. You can read internal messages. You can find VPN instructions. You can look for administrators. You can learn how the company names systems. You can start claiming. So keep this line in mind. One phone call did not magically turn off a casino. One phone call opened the door. Once attackers are inside, the job changes. Now they are looking for permissions, admin accounts, documentations, backups, and the servers that actually run the business. Public reporting linked the MGM attack to Scattered Spider and Alpha V, known as Black Hat, a ransomware operation. And one of the important infrastructure targets reported in these kinds of attacks is VMware ESXi. If you do not live in infrastructure, think of ESXi as part of the floor underneath the business. Those virtual machines might run reservations, point of sale systems, file shares, internal tools, or business applications. Now imagine being inside MGM during this. You detect something bad. You do not know exactly how far the attackers have gone, which accounts they have, or whether ransomware is about to spread. So you face a brutal decision. Do you keep the systems online and risk the attackers moving farther? Or do you shut systems down yourself to contain the blast? From the outside, it can look like the hackers turned off Las Vegas. But in major incidents, defenders may pull systems offline because that is the only way to stop the bleeding. MGM said it shut down certain systems to protect data. Guests saw the impact immediately. Room key problems, mobile app and website issues, ATMs, and some slot machines reported offline, disrupted reservations, and employees falling back to manual processes. That is the part people miss about cybersecurity. A cyber attack is not just data. It is a hotel lobby at midnight with tired people in line, a front desk employee writing things down by hand, and machines that are supposed to be bright and loud suddenly going dark. Cybersecurity is operations. MGM later said the incident would create around a $100 million hit to adjusted property earnings, plus less than $10 million in one-time response costs. Lawsuits followed. MGM later agreed to a $45 million settlement tied to data breach litigation covering its 2019 and 2023 incidents. But the cleaner lesson is smaller. Someone convinced a support process to trust them. MGM was not alone. Caesars also disclosed a cyber attack in September 2023. Public reporting said the company was hit through social engineering involving an outside IT vendor. Reports said Caesars paid roughly $15 million of a $30 million ransom demand. Caesars said its casino and online operations were not disrupted the way MGM's were, but customer data was exposed, including driver's license numbers and possibly social security numbers for some loyalty program members. Same general period, same industry, same kind of doorway. Two giants. Not two unsophisticated companies. Two major enterprises with serious security teams, both hit where modern companies are still strangely soft. Identity recovery. The boring little process where a person says, "I am locked out, can you help?" That is the attack surface now, not just your firewall, not just your endpoint protection. The attack surface is also the sentence, "Hey, sorry, got a new phone and I need my MFA reset." So let's bring this out of Las Vegas. In your business, who is the help desk? Maybe you have an actual help desk. Maybe you use an MSP. Maybe it is an office manager. Maybe it is the founder. Maybe it's Dave, because Dave is good with computers and everyone already asks Dave when something breaks. If someone called your company today and said, "I am locked out, I need a password reset," what would actually happen? Not what does the policy say, what would happen? Would Dave verify the caller? Would he use a known number from the company directory or call back the number the person gave him? Would he reset MFA from an inbound call? Would he change a payroll bank account or update vendor payment details? And maybe the most important question, would he feel empowered to slow the process down, or would he feel like he was being difficult? Help desk employees are rewarded for being helpful. They get thanked when they are fast. They get complaints when they create friction. So if leadership does not explicitly protect the person who says no, then the real policy is speed. And attackers know that. That is why the fix is not only a product. Yes, tools matter. Phishing-resistant MFA, device-bound authentication, logging, and conditional access all matter. But the fix for this exact weakness is a process. A boring, written, rehearsed process. Here is what it should include. First, no MFA resets from inbound calls alone. If someone calls and asks for a reset, open a ticket, then verify them through a known pre-existing channel. Use a phone number already in the employee directory, not the number they give you on the call. Second, callback verification for sensitive changes. MFA reset, callback. Password reset for an admin, callback. Banking, payroll, or vendor payment change, callback. And if the request touches money or admin access, add a second approver. Third, slow down high-risk requests by design. If someone is asking to reset the thing that proves who they are, you are allowed to take 5 extra minutes. If someone is asking to change where the money goes, you are allowed to take a day. If someone says this is urgent, that is not a reason to skip verification. That is a reason to follow verification exactly. Fourth, give your people a script. Do not make a junior employee improvise in the most socially awkward moment of their week. Give them these 5 lines. I can help, but I cannot make account changes from an inbound call alone. I am going to open a ticket and call you back using the number in our company directory. For MFA resets or admin access, I also need approval from your manager or the listed backup approver. Until that verification is complete, I cannot add a new device, reset MFA, or change recovery information. If this is urgent, your manager can escalate through the same approved channel. That's it, 5 lines. It is not glamorous, but that script might stop the first domino from falling. Fifth, protect the employee who follows the script. If your help desk person follows the process and an executive complains, leadership needs to back the process. If policy disappears when somebody important is irritated, attackers will eventually sound important and irritated. They're not just attacking technology, they are attacking the gap between what your policy says and what your culture rewards. The practical test. Here is the action list. Do these 3 things this week. 1. Write the 5-line verification script for whoever resets passwords, MFA, payroll, banking, or vendor payment details. 2. Add a callback rule for any MFA reset, admin access change, or money movement change. 3. Tabletop it once. Have a friend call your company and pretend to be locked out. Do not tell the help desk it is a test until after. See what happens. And do not make it a gotcha. The point is not to embarrass Dave. The point is to find out whether Dave has been given a process that can survive a convincing phone call. Attackers moved from hacking computers to hacking conversations for a reason. You patched the computers. You trained people not to click the obvious phishing emails. You bought the security tools. But in a lot of companies, the conversation still has admin rights. That is the part to fix. The MGM hack is dramatic because it happened in casinos. It gives us dark slot machines, broken room keys, giant losses, and a story that sounds like it should have a movie soundtrack. But the useful lesson is simple. Someone asked for help. The process trusted the wrong person. And once identity was compromised, the business had to fight for control of its own systems. The lesson is not never trust employees. The lesson is build processes that protect helpful employees from being used as the front door. If you want help building those processes, verification scripts, reset procedures, finance change controls, tabletop exercises, incident response playbooks, go to viso.group, first link below. In the next video, we are going to walk through the first 24 hours inside a company after a call like this works, what breaks first, who gets pulled in, and which decisions matter. And later in the series, we are going to go deeper on the next version of this problem, deepfake calls. Because if a normal phone call can do this much damage, you need to be ready for the call that sounds exactly like your boss. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.